Hello, and welcome to Rutland Weekend Television. And we start off tonight's viewing with Gardening Time.
Well, good afternoon from the Good Evening Rutland, where this morning the holders of each other in tonight's Limp-Off Against the Clock are facing the wall opposite us. And so, without any ado, let's nonetheless as soon as possible. Well, as you all know, the sitting tenants of the All England All-Purpose Wall Plug Cup fell out of the second round window on Friday night when the holders of the North Wales Bowl met the semi-finalists of the South-South Scottish B-Day in a jump-off against the wall to decide who should be this week's. And here they come, the holders of the sparkling Spanish instep, footwear's highest accolade, and the happy third-time lucky go runners-up in the Friends of the Market Gardeners Melon, held diagonally every year. Yes, it's none other than the South Northwest, who are meeting for the first time in a frock, the finalists in the Beehive hairdo, the Southeast by Northwest Midlands, for the privilege of holding next year's All England South-South-East by North-South-West South-West of Birmingham South-East finals, held annually wherever they can find it. This year it turned up in Hull, although we turned up in Rutland, where we now are in the Tower bathroom suite, and we're all having such a magnificent, we've decided to hold it in here. In fact, I'm holding it at the moment because here comes the winner of last year's Miss European Fire Exit in Rome, the lovely Maureen, looking every bit as good as they say she is and wearing a handmade smile. Incidentally, husband Ron tonight designed the dress that he's wearing. Well, enough of the preliminaries. Let's skip straight through to the end. And here she comes, led out by the East-East Midlands, the skipper of the West-West, partly South-South, North of East Grinstead team from the North-West, none other than Maureen herself, wearing extremely well and little else. In fact, damn all, absolutely nothing, which has gone down very well with the judges, who have awarded her this week's jump-off against the mattress. And so, without any less ado, it's time for me once again. And so, until the next, here's to it from all of us here to all of you there in the privacy of your own. Maestro, take me away, please.
Dodos to back, refusing to say a word, having a lover's quarrel over something truly absurd. But you're the last of your species, the other animals cry. Make up your differences, do, forget your foolish pride, and say sorry again. Say sorry again, never mind who's to blame. There's no sense in calling names, so say sorry again. Don't let a good love die. You could be combined, two hearts intertwined if you say sorry again. Expression time. This boy's got magic in his fingers. You should keep him up his sleeve. But the dodos remained unmoved, and as the sun began to sink, she held her head up high, and he pretended to think. All the animals cried in dismay, saying, what's the good of advice to creatures such as dodos, who find stubbornness so nice? So say sorry again. Say sorry again. Why don't you admit you were wrong? Who wise your will so strong? So say sorry again. An apology isn't so bad. The whole human race will spit in your face if you don't say sorry again. Take it away. For the better. Well, the proof of the animal's wisdom is quite apparent today. How many dodos do you know? They're not even put on display. So say sorry again. Say sorry again. When the last spell is rung, don't just stick out your tongue. Just say sorry again.
Well, that was Cookery Time. And now, Floodlit Rugby League.
Hello. Tonight on Philosophy Corner we'll have a film report on a new philosopher, Confucius.
Confucius, he say,
Confucius, the aggressive philosophy. We'll be examining a new theory of Noam Chomsky's that Plato wore no panties, And we'll be bringing you some more entries in our Abuser Philosopher competition, in which a chemist from Tynemouth has called Nietzsche a silly little oik, a Mrs. Harpenden of Leicester has said that Jean-Jacques Rousseau was a froggy fatty, and a Miss Brackett's Pamela Betterment of the tenements Bilston has referred to Empedocles of Acragas as a half-baked bubble git with the brains of a Burke. But first, we examine a report that leading West End stores are selling their own philosophy. And we ask the question, is the viability of empirical knowledge simply the denial of a priori concepts of essence, or is the existential state, in the teleological sense of Karl Popper's falsifiability criterion, another form of Occam's razor, or is it all just a big con? Ray Laycock is chief philosophy salesman at a leading London West End store.
This is simply not true. In this store's philosophy department, we provide the best, the most exclusive, and certainly the most expensive philosophy in the world. What is more, our philosophy is sold by proper salesmen in suits and not flogged by scruffy little Indians. Mr. Plato?
Yes, sir.
This gentleman is interested in learning a little of our store's philosophy.
Certainly, sir. What income bracket were you thinking of, sir?
Well, what is that?
Well, Fortnum and Mason philosophy starts at around £14,000 per annum, sir, and goes on up. Our store's philosophy starts at £20,000 per year.
Well, how does it work?
Well, it is based, sir, on what Immanuel Kant calls pure wealth. We pander to the rich.
Isn't that a bit sycophantic?
It's much, much more rewarding, sir. Marshall and Snellgrove philosophy states that if a man has no money, he is as a tiny piece of ordure in the sight of extremely rich people.
I see.
It is as easy, sir, for a rich man to enter the kingdom of heaven as it is to stick a needle in a camel. Over the bridge, sir, Pet's department, where maudling the camel awaits the doubter's needle. Conclusive proof, I feel, sir.
Well, unfortunately, I'm rather poor.
If you are poor, sir, then you should sell all you have and give it to the extremely rich.
Well, what's the point of that?
Well, it makes them much, much, much richer, sir. Harrod's philosophy teaches that all wealth belongs to the extremely rich.
Yes, but someone could always steal from the rich.
Then they must be killed, sir, for it is better to be dead than poor. This is a maxim from our gift department.
So if I was to lose all my money...
Then our philosophy department would betray you to our funeral department.
Ah, but I've already left my body to Swan and Edgar.
Yes, we have hardly any left over for parties.
Last year, 50,000 people left their bodies to Selfridges, 25,000 left their bodies to Marks and Spencer's, and 14 left their bodies to me. What's to be done? Where can we put them?
Here, this is a fire lane.
What?
You can't act here, this is a fire lane.
Oh.
If there's a fire, this will be crowded with firefighting equipment, people running backwards and forwards.
Oh, with buckets.
Some with buckets, obviously, others bucketless.
Oh, I see.
But buckets or no buckets, this is a fire lane, and I must ask you to act elsewhere.
Well, here, do.
That's fine.
Oh, thank you. Come in.
Good morning, sir.
Ah, good morning.
Have you got the results of my intelligence test yet?
Ah, yes. You realise, of course, that intelligence tests are notoriously inaccurate.
Oh, yes.
Yes. And out of a score of a possible 200, of which the average person may get, say, 120, there may be an error of 10 or even 15%.
Yes.
So they're not totally accurate.
No. How many did I score, sir?
Naught.
Naught?
Yes. 0.
0? Not too bad for a first try.
No.
Not very good, though.
No, not very good, obviously, no.
Not as good as someone who scored 180, for example.
No, nor even someone who scored, say, 3 or 4.
No.
Still, I shouldn't worry. You've got your name right at the top of the paper.
Oh, good, did I? I was worried about that.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I spent most of my time on that. I wanted to make sure I got it right.
Well, you did get it right. Perfectly right, and well done.
Thank you.
Unfortunately, we don't normally give marks for getting your name right.
Oh, dear. Only, I spent most of the 2 hours on that.
Well, I think in your case, I'm prepared to make an exception. I'm going to give you 2 marks for getting your name right.
2?
And that in itself takes you out of the moron class into the, for you, comparatively exalted reaches of cretin.
Cretin?
Yes.
I'm a cretin?
Yes, congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
And that means you can join the cretin club.
Oh, golly!
Yes. Here's your cretin club tie.
You can get the Cretin Club news bulletin. You can get a T-shirt with "I am a cretin" written on. You can get some Cretin Club cufflinks. You can go to the annual Cretin Club dinner.
You can't act here. This is a fire lane.
What?
If there was a fire, people would be up and down here.
Oh, with buckets?
Shut up. Now shove off. Shove off. Well, so much for Biggles. And now, here's Omar Sharif and Cinema.
Hello and welcome to Talk About. And tonight on the programme we have Keith Trapp, who has the reputation of being one of the wittiest men in England, indeed in the entire world. Keith, welcome.
Good evening.
Keith, you have the reputation of being something of a wit.
Yes.
People say that as a natural talker you are remarkably witty and extremely funny.
Yes.
Do you find being witty easy?
Oh, yes.
You don't find it a constant strain to be expected to keep up this elegant banter?
No.
No. You don't find it tiring, people expecting you to be witty and full of elan and aphorisms the whole time?
No.
See. Have you always been witty?
Yes.
And this celebrated wit, when do you exercise it?
What?
When do you let the words tumble free in a bumbling cascade of elegant chit-chat?
What?
When are you witty?
Oh, all the time.
Please, go on.
What?
Be witty.
Oh.
Well, from wit...
Wit is
yes?
the... What?
Please, go on.
With what?
You were going to be witty.
No, no, actually, I was going to ask you where the lavatory was.
You're serious?
Yes.
It wasn't a witty remark?
No.
No. It's just outside the studio on the right.
Thank you.
Well, from wit we turn to origami, the ancient art of Japanese folding. And here's Sally to tell you how it's done.
Hello again. Well, now, the beauty of this particular pastime is the great number of results that you can get from the same basic materials. Now then, you can take any length Japanese, and you can, in fact, start at any end. But for the purposes of this demonstration, I'm going to begin over here. Now then, I'll make a bold fold on this side, like so, being careful to tuck in the ends and make a nice clean job. Now then, I like symmetry in my designs, so I'll fold again on the other side, so. And as you can see, it's already beginning to take on a very interesting shape. Now then, I suggest the other side, and nice, strong fold up into position. Now, don't you think that's very interesting as a vertical position instead of a horizontal one? Now then, for those among you who are more artistic, I suggest a little variation like so. You can move these little pieces about up and down until you get the sort of design that appeals to you. There's no reason why you can't do it all different sorts of ways, whatever appeals to your particular artistic sensibilities. Now then, nice final touch here with this other part, spreading out so it makes a nice firm base. And I think you'll find this particular vertical design, just a moment, would look awfully well in a modern living room and be a topic of conversation for your friends when they come to dinner. Well, there you have it. Good luck and good folding.
Thank you, Sally. Jolly useful. Well, now we have in the studio Rex and Ron from Stroud in Gloucestershire.
Hello.
And, well, perhaps you'd better explain, Ron.
Yes, well, my friend Rex here, he does impersonations.
Well, that's fascinating.
Yes, it is.
What does he do impersonations of?
He does impersonations of medical equipment.
And when did he start impersonating medical equipment?
About a minute ago.
No. When did he first start impersonating medical equipment?
About a minute ago.
Oh, I see. He hasn't been doing it very long.
No, about a minute.
And what is he impersonating at the moment?
He's impersonating an electroencephalograph.
Is he? Yes. It is good, isn't it? Can we see something else?
No.
Why not?
That's all he does.
Oh, I see. He doesn't do any more.
No, he's only been doing it about a minute.
Oh, I'm sorry.
There are plans, however, for him to imitate a kidney machine. And at Christmas he's going to impersonate the Royal Heart Hospital.
Well, best of luck with your future medical impersonations, Rex and Ron.
Not at all.
Well, now it's cookery time, introduced as usual by Ledin.
Hello, comrades. Last week I showed you how to make the party go with the swing by making pretty little angel cakes. Comrade Trotsky has a different recipe for this, but we are going to deal with him. But this week I want you to show you an old Marxist recipe, Marx pudding.
Hello, comrades. Here is a recipe I found in the British Museum. First, make some batter, then put the eggs in the batter, then put the batter in the oven. Then wait for the collapse of the entire bourgeois capitalist system. Set the table, politicize the proletariat, replace the decadent bourgeoisie, activate the workers. Remove from the oven, serve from 4 to 6 people. Ah, delicious, if a bit decadent.
What a wonderful recipe. Thank you, Carl. Incidentally, it's still not too late to write in and tell us what your neighbors are doing. But now, here's Joe with a new way to cook eggs.
Capture a dozen eggs. When you've captured them, take them outside and shoot them. Then round up the rest of the ingredients and take them outside and shoot them. When you've made the omelette, don't trust it, shoot it. Then shoot all the rest of the ingredients. Then shoot all the people who've come to eat the omelette. And shoot the little kettle. And shoot the teapot. And shoot the ladder. And shoot everything. Shoot! Shoot! Then eat the omelette.
You can't make an omelette without breaking the kitchen. Whenever the bourgeoisie get you down and revisionism's looking blue,
Get into the kitchen, get out your pans, and cook a little dish or two.
Whenever the decline of the capitalist system seems to be coming through,
Get into the kitchen, get out your pans, and cook a little dish or two. Here's our recipe, if you want to be free. The future lies in your hands. Don't go on bitching, get into the kitchen. And rattle, rattle, rattle them pots and pans. Whenever you've shot all the people to shoot, and you shot the firing squad too, get into the kitchen, get out your pans, and shoot a little dish or two.
shoot one for me, Joe.
Shoot a little dish or two.
make mine a bourgeois.
Shoot a little dish or two. Toodaloo.
Hello. Well, from swimming, we move on now to our next programme from Earl's Court, the International Rabbit Show.
Yes, Kung Sui, the ancient art of defending yourself whilst eating a Chinese meal. Developed in Chinese restaurants throughout the ages, Kung Sui can help you to resist armed aggression over dinner. Yes, dine in security with Kung Sui.
Well, she certainly was a stunner. And now, in similar vein, it's time for underwater golf.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Do you recognise me?
Oh, yes, sir. We sold you the ship.
The house.
Ah, yes. When was that?
This morning.
Oh, yes, I remember. Mr. von Ribbentrop.
Robinson.
Oh, yes, Mr. von Robinson from Rhodesia.
Redditch.
Ah, yes. I'll just get someone to help
No,
you,
I
sir.
want to speak to you.
Did you know that Oslo was the second capital of Norway? It used to be Trondheim, but it was changed.
No, I didn't know that, no.
No, it's all in the encyclopedia. How is the house, sir?
It's fallen down.
Did you know that Romania was the youngest country in Europe?
The walls have fallen in, the roof's collapsed, and the floors have all disappeared.
90% of all the Allied bombing during the last war was totally ineffectual.
The basement has fallen into a sewer, the garage has exploded, and the garden is still on fire.
Ah, yes, well, you do expect a certain amount of settling in a new house, sir.
They're still trying to pull my wife out of the ruins.
60% of all the agricultural produce of Evesham...
Mungo! you see him?
Yes?
At school, they teach him boxing, karate, rugby football and unarmed combat in the bloody junior army.
Has he got an encyclopedia?
I'm giving you to a count of 4 and I'm going to set him on you. 1.
3 ships a day leave Liverpool for South American ports.
2.
Sir Arthur Cockcroft invented the steam whistle in 1832.
3.
All right, I'll see what I can do.
Easy, Mungo. What you doing?
I'm looking in the book.
It's an encyclopedia.
Oh, seen one of these, have you? Beautiful job. Look, wonderful colour plates, elegant calf binding, beautiful.
What are you going to do about our house?
It's all in alphabetical order.
All right, Mungo.
We got a nice freehold tent in Reading.
No.
Caravan near Hampstead.
How near Hampstead?
Southport.
Get him.
No, all right, you can have all your money back.
All right. That's very kind of you.
Provided you buy an entire set of encyclopedias.
Yeah, all right.
Ah, you won't regret it, sir. Oh. Look at these wonderful pictures I'm about to show you. Only £600, sir. You can't go wrong. See that? Oh, yeah. Oh, it's wonderful. She likes snakes and leaves. Oh, Derek.
Yeah.
Didn't know he was in it.
Well, it's better than the house.
Wonderful.
Well, from sheep, we move to goats. But before that, here's a quick look at tomorrow night's big match between Hal in the Stripes and Keithley kicking from left to right.
Getting to know you. Getting to know you. Getting to know all about you.
Well, you can see that match tomorrow. But right now, it's time for football again. When did you first find out that you were normal?
I suppose it was at school. None of the other kids would laugh at me or beat me up.
I see. What did you do about it?
At first, nothing. I thought everybody was normal. And then I realised there were all these minority groups and I couldn't join any of them because I was normal.
Why didn't you tell your parents?
I was ashamed.
Arthur Sutcliffe is not, of course, his real name. Well, Arthur is, but not the Sutcliffe bit. My idea, that. Sutcliffe. Such a nice name. It's much better than Jones. This problem of Arthur Sutcliffe's is not unique. Reginald Bradley is a consultant psychiatrist.
Yes, I am. I am a consultant psychiatrist. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I did say I was a consultant psychiatrist.
Yes, you did.
Good, because I am a fully qualified consultant psychiatrist. Yeah. None of this not really being a doctor business, you know.
No, quite. Well, perhaps you could tell us something about the problem.
Well, it's not really a problem. I became a consultant psychiatrist because I didn't want to be an ordinary doctor.
No. Could you tell us something about Arthur's problem?
What? As a consultant psychiatrist?
Yes.
Oh, no, I'd have to read up on it first.
Yes. Mrs. Sutcliffe, you're Arthur Jones's wife. Arthur Sutcliffe's wife.
Yes.
Was it a tremendous shock to you?
Oh, yes. When I married him, I thought he was a puff. And then one day, he confessed he was normal.
And?
I've decided to stick by him.
Two people who can't forgive him are, of course, his parents, Henry and Veronica Sutcliffe. We spoke to them in their home in Reigate.
We can't understand it. We gave that girl...
Boy, dear.
We gave that thing everything it could possibly need as an answer.
Child?
Including jam.
Yeah, we gave it jam, we did. We gave it jam.
Yeah.
What kind of jam?
Pernod jam.
Yeah, ham jam.
Yeah. Ice cream with onions. We gave it everything a little darky could need.
Yeah, I used to lock him up in dark cupboards, only for his own good. But no, he had to grow up normal. Typical.
Ungrateful sod. I won't let him back in the rabbit hutch.
House?
No.
My parents did their best for me. They gave me a bad home, appalling education, and a perfectly miserable childhood, but I was destined to be normal.
In Arthur's case, the solution was simple.
I decided to accept the fact I came out as a normal.
What happened?
At first, people were shocked. I got abusive letters. Somebody sent me the Daily Telegraph through the post. But instead of going to the police, I accepted it. I got a Barclay card. Later on, I learned to watch Des O'Connor in the company of other adult normals. I went to straight pubs and people would come home with me and we'd sit about, not touching, having quite a nice time.
Well, who's to blame? Perhaps all of us, deep down, are really normal. Is society to blame? Or even education? Or maybe we could blame the little man from the off-licence. He's small, couldn't do much about it. That's it, we'll blame him.
Why me?
Yes, this little man from the off-licence is to blame.
No, I'm not.
He's also to blame for all the unfair divisions in society.
I'm not.
For the fact that some people are much wealthier than others.
It's not my fault.
And that Leicester City never won the FA Cup.
You can't blame me for that.
Are you the men from the off-licence?
Yes.
You're to blame for everything. Come with me.
Man from the off-licence. You are apparently to blame for fascism, racial prejudice, any questions, crime in society, and the unfair distribution of wealth.
I'm not.
Be quiet. Call Leicester City Football Club.
Hello.
You are Leicester City Football Club.
We are.
Why didn't you win the FA Cup?
He's to blame.
Oh, what a lie.
Man from the off-licence, I find you guilty as charged, and it is my solemn duty to pass sentence upon you. And I feel I should make clear in this court what a dreadful person you have.
People were much nicer to each other, and extremely rich people gave away most of their wealth to the poor. So the man from the off-licence was to blame after all.
Told you.
There's no song for the singer, no words for the tune. There's a mess in the message and a man on the moon. There's no plan in the planet, it's all gone berserk. There's a milk bottle shortage and the traffic light don't work. Lie down and be counted, don't take any more. Lie down and be counted, what are we standing for? But there's hope for the couple who stroll in the park. There's nuclear power to light up the dark. There's national health and ice in the fridge, and the occasional cat on a motorway bridge. There's extended credit on easier terms, and something to kill or no household germs. There's sofas and armchairs and washing machines. Stars on Sunday, fish fingers and beans. Lie down and be counted, don't take any more. Lie down and be counted, what are we standing for? There's no song for the singer, no words for the tune. There's a mess in the message and a man on the moon. There's no plan in the planet, it's all gone berserk. There's an everything shortage and the traffic lights still don't work. Lie down and be counted, don't take any more. Lie down and be counted, what are we standing for?
there you have it, if you're lucky enough, and who isn't lucky enough with the lovely Maureen, who incidentally is 14 stone today and looking for every inch of it. So without any much more ado, let's further a go without nothing, and let's see the East by East Grinstead South East team, who are already out of the showers and into the mambo. And here come the North by Northwest on the attack. Well, that's victory for the North by Northwest by a point, and who wouldn't point when here comes the lovely Maureen, herself no small nipples when it comes to points. So until you get next week's, have a good one from me.
Oi, out!
What?
This is a fire lane, no acting here.
Oh.
Get out of it, all of you. Buckets indeed.
Well, nude religion brings to a close our programs for today. So until next week, a very goodbye from me. Rutland Weekend Television is closing down now, so we hand you back to ATV.